In the floating city of Akarath, peace shattered when a crimson comet tore through the night sky. The comet crashed into the forbidden forest outside the city walls, releasing dark energy that awakened ancient monsters known as the Void Beasts. Sara, a fearless 16-year-old swordswoman, rushed into the forest after hearing rumors that her missing brother had been seen near the crash site. Armed with only her silver blade and determination, she encountered terrifying creatures unlike anything she had faced before. Just as a void beast lunged toward her, a mysterious boy wearing a black cloak appeared from the shadows. With blazing blue fire surrounding his fists, he destroyed the creature instantly. "My name is Ken," he said coldly, "and if you stay here, you'll die." Sara immediately distrusted him, but she sensed he knew more about the comet than anyone else. That night, the two formed an uneasy alliance. Ken revealed that the comet carried the Shadow Flame, an ancient power sealed centuries ago by the Guardians of Akarath. The power granted incredible strength, but slowly consumed the soul of whoever used it. Ken himself carried part of the Shadow Flame within him. Sara learned that Ken had once belonged to the Night Clan, warriors trained to protect the seal. But after his clan was destroyed by a masked enemy called the Hollow King, Ken became a wanderer seeking revenge. Meanwhile, void beasts continued attacking villages near Akarath. Sara and Ken traveled together to stop them, though their personalities constantly clashed. Sara believed in protecting people no matter the cost. Ken believed emotions only made warriors weak. But during a fierce battle against a giant serpent beast, Sara risked her life to save Ken from a fatal attack. For the first time in years, Ken hesitated. Maybe strength wasn't everything. The rulers of Akarath summoned Sara and Ken to the legendary Academy of Blades, where elite warriors trained to defend the kingdom. There, Sara discovered her hidden ability. She could channel spirit energy through her sword, creating crimson lightning attacks. The instructors called her power Stormheart. Ken, however, became feared by the students because of his Shadow Flame. Some believed he would eventually become a monster himself. During the Academy tournament, Sara faced her greatest rival in the finals. Though injured, she defeated him using a new technique called Crimson Pulse Strike. But the celebration ended when masked soldiers invaded the Academy. The Hollow King had arrived. Chaos erupted across the city as the Hollow King unleashed thousands of void beasts. Ken confronted the masked ruler and discovered a horrifying truth. The Hollow King was once his own master. Years ago, Ken's master tried to control the Shadow Flame but became corrupted by its darkness. "You cannot destroy power," the Hollow King declared. "Only rule through it." As the city burned, Sara rallied the surviving students to protect civilians, while Ken fought alone against the Hollow King. But he was defeated. Before leaving, the Hollow King captured the kingdom's sacred crystal, the final seal holding back the full power of the Shadow Flame. Akarath fell into darkness. Determined to stop the coming disaster, Sara convinced Ken not to give up. Together, they traveled beyond the kingdom into the frozen wastes, seeking the legendary Sun Priestess who once sealed the Shadow Flame centuries ago. The journey tested them constantly. They fought ice dragons, crossed collapsing cliffs, and survived deadly storms. One night, beside a campfire, Ken finally admitted his greatest fear. "I'm afraid I'll become the same monster he did." Sara smiled softly. "Then I'll stop you before that happens." For the first time, Ken laughed. Their bond grew stronger than ever. Deep within an ancient temple buried under ice, Sara and Ken found the Sun Priestess in magical sleep. She revealed the truth. The Shadow Flame could only be destroyed by combining two opposite powers, the darkness of Shadow Flame and the light of Stormheart. But doing so could cost both their lives. Meanwhile, the Hollow King completed the ritual to awaken the Eternal Void, a giant creature capable of erasing entire kingdoms. The sky cracked open as darkness swallowed the world. The final battle had begun. Sara and Ken returned to Akarath, now transformed into a ruined battlefield. Warriors from every surviving village united against the Void Beasts, while Sara and Ken confronted the Hollow King atop the shattered royal tower. Ken unleashed the full power of the blue Shadow Flame, surrounding the sky in fire. Sara answered with crimson lightning so bright it split the clouds apart. The battle shook the entire kingdom. Finally, the Hollow King merged with the Eternal Void, becoming a gigantic shadow monster. Knowing there was only one chance left, Sara and Ken combined their powers into a single attack, Shadow Crimson Eclipse. The blast pierced the darkness and destroyed the Eternal Void forever. But the explosion consumed Ken. Months later, Akarath slowly rebuilt itself from the ruins. Sara became captain of the new Guardian Order, protecting the kingdom and training future warriors. Though peace returned, Sara never forgot Ken. One evening, while standing near the forest where everything began, Sara sensed a familiar blue flame flickering in the distance. A figure stepped from the shadows wearing a black cloak. "You still owe me a rematch," Ken said with a grin. Sara laughed as tears filled her eyes. The two friends walked toward the rising sun together, ready for whatever adventure awaited next. And so, the legend of Sara and Ken became a story told across generations. A tale of darkness, courage, and the unbreakable bond between two warriors.